The man accused of killing another man in Sauk County has been charged. We'll have the latest. Plus, the Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration to go ahead with its plan to restrict military service by transgender people. And change is happening at Miller Park in Milwaukee. We'll tell you what it is.
This is News 3 at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 on this Tuesday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in a bit. But first, Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is here with our first alert forecast. A little freezing drizzle when I came in this morning, but it looks like it's snow now.
Yeah, now it's snow, and a major winter storm is going to affect us over the next 24 hours. Let's start out by taking a look at an alert day that we have in place for the rest of today into tomorrow morning. For occasional snow, about 4 to 10 inches of snow total across our viewing area with some freezing drizzle possibility, especially this afternoon. And then alert days are in the forecast for Friday and Saturday for bitterly cold wind chills down to 30 to 35 below zero in the morning. Daytime wind chills staying below zero. Actual low temperatures to around 10 to 15 below, and daytime highs only in the single digits. On Doppler track, the snow is starting to break out. The freezing drizzle is starting to change over to light snow, and we'll see that area fill in pretty rapidly over the next few hours. This is what we're thinking, about 5 to 10 inches of snow. The computer models have come up quite a bit on the snow amounts over the last couple of runs. So now winter storm warnings are in effect for all of southern Wisconsin until 9 a.m. for areas west of a Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line, east of there including Madison till noon tomorrow. Low temperatures this morning were in the mid-teens, which is a big change from recent days. Temperatures right now are in the lower 20s, but the winds are pretty brisk. So they're going to lighten up for a time this afternoon, then shift around to the north and increase in speed. Wind chills right now not too bad, but as those winds shift around to the north, we'll notice those wind chills drop by tomorrow. So expect occasional light to moderate snow for the rest of today through tonight and into tomorrow. Today's high 25, tonight's low about 18, and then tomorrow low 20s. But by the end of the week, really cold air arrives, and then more snow and more cold after that. So
we're paying the price for December, aren't we?
Yeah, no, it was quiet for a while. Not anymore.
Not anymore. Some schools are closing early. That's all on the bottom of the screen, so keep an eye on that and be careful out there.
That's right.
See you in a few minutes.
Okay.
And be sure to stay informed about the weather 24/7 by downloading our Channel 3000 First Alert Weather and Traffic app. It's free right now in your app store. In other news, the man accused of killing 88-year-old Harold Johnson has been charged. Officials are continuing to search for 68-year-old Robert Pulvermacher. Court records show Pulvermacher is charged with first-degree intentional homicide in the death of Johnson. During an autopsy, a forensics pathologist found Johnson had 5 stab wounds, including 2 to his neck. Johnson's daughter told police that her father had lent $100 to Pulvermacher on January 11th, according to the complaint. Johnson was supposed to meet Pulvermacher the next day to get his money back, but Pulvermacher never showed up. The Sauk County Sheriff's Office says Johnson was found dead in his vehicle at the Ho-Chunk Casino and Convention Center last week. Pulvermacher was reportedly seen in Madison last week, but officials were not able to locate him. Police in Paris have arrested Grammy-winning singer Chris Brown on suspicion of rape. The 24-year-old woman says that she met Brown and his friends at a nightclub in Paris last week and went back to Brown's hotel suite where the alleged rape took place. French judicial sources tell CBS News, in addition to the allegations of aggravated rape, Brown faces possible charges for drug-related offenses. The recording artist has a history of violence, most famously for a felony conviction for the 2009 assault on his then-girlfriend, Rihanna. The Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration to go ahead with its plans to restrict military service by transgender people while court challenges continue. Today, the High Court reversed lower court orders preventing the Pentagon from implementing its plans. Military police had barred service by transgender people until President Barack Obama's administration began allowing transgender people already in the military to serve openly and set a date when the transgender people would be allowed to enlist. President Trump's administration has revisited those policies, and the Trump administration has sought to generally restrict service by transgender people to only those who do not seek to undergo gender transitions. Neither President Trump nor Democrats in Congress appear any closer to a compromise that will end the 32-day-old partial government shutdown. Senate Republicans will introduce a bill to end the partial government shutdown that incorporates President Trump's offer to break the logjam. The president's plan includes 3 years protection for some refugees and so-called dreamers. It also includes $5.7 billion for a border wall, a non-starter with Democrats. Democrats are demanding the president reopen the government before negotiations on border security can begin.
I'm still not talking to each other. They're just talking at each other, and both sides have rejected the other side's proposals as complete non-starters.
A deal would have to be reached by midnight tonight in order for federal workers to receive their next paycheck on time. There's no sign that that will happen. Wisconsin's new governor will give his first State of the State address tonight. Governor Tony Evers will make that address in front of a joint session of the state legislature. The governor's office has not given any indication on what he plans to talk about, but in his short term so far, he's already made health care an early focus of his administration. The address is scheduled to begin at 7 o'clock tonight. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos will give the Republican response following the governor's speech. And Miller Park will soon have a new name, according to reports out of Milwaukee. Miller Park will be the home of the Brewers for the 19th year in 2019, but it will likely have a new name with American Family Insurance sponsorship, according to our partners at WTMJ. Miller's naming rights agreement expires in 2020, according to officials. The Brewers will announce the new name this afternoon. And there's more to come on News 3 at noon. I'm next. Let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
When it comes to baking, you don't need 1,000 recipes, just a few really good basic ones, like the one we're making today. You know, one thing that I was taught early on is you don't need 1,000 different recipes when it comes to baking. Rather, have a few really good basic ones and make variations of those. I can't think of a better example of this than the buttery rich coffee cake that we're going to be making today. The key is to start by creaming some softened butter and sugar until it's fluffy. You don't want to rush this part. To that, we beat in some eggs, vanilla, baking powder and baking soda, and a bit of salt. Now, we slowly add some flour, alternated with milk, until the batter comes together. This is our basic coffee cake batter that's worth its weight in gold. After pouring half the batter into a baking pan, We sprinkle it with a combo of chocolate chips, walnuts, brown sugar, and some cinnamon. The remaining batter goes on top before we finish it with the rest of our to-die-for filling. Then we pop it in the oven. Pour yourself a cup of coffee, then sit back and enjoy the best basic coffee cake you've ever had. And I call it basic since you can easily change the filling by adding some dried fruit, a different variety of nuts, and on and on. To get the recipe for our Back to Basics coffee cake, all you have to do is visit our website. This recipe is a must-have. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a Back to Basics way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, alert days are in the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is tracking the snow. He'll have our first alert forecast when we come back. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is down 290 points. The NASDAQ down 107. Let's check in now with Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee. She's in the radio barn. More snow on the way.
Yeah, boy, and not just a little bit. I'll be curious to hear what Gary's got to say on fine details of that one coming up in a minute. First, let's take a look at what's happening as far as our commodities are concerned for this first day after the Martin Luther King break. Right now, it looks like we're a little softer on the midday, much like Wall Street. The market continuing to scream out that they're lacking information. They were expecting export inspection numbers today from the Ag Marketing Service. That's one division of USDA that's continuing to work, basically trying to keep count on how many bushel of U.S. corn and soybeans are bound for international markets. Now, the real catch is when they get those numbers in the marketplace, trying to cross-check and see exactly where loads are going. Is China back in the marketplace? If China's buying, is it actually reaching the final destination of China, or is it getting sent off into different directions? That's what the case has been over the past couple of weeks. So again, like I say, this day number 32 government shutdown impacting our markets just with the sheer lack of information available. So our commodities are down on the midday. I just took a look. The corn market's down about 3 cents right now. Soybeans currently trading about a nickel lower. The wheat market is actually the stronger commodity. Looks like the Ukraine and Russia are going to get into it as far as restrictions on the amount of wheat that they want to share in the world marketplace. It's a little bit of a battle between who is going to tell what wheat can be marketed. So that's an international developing story. As far as dairy is concerned, we're lower on the midday fluid milk contracts. I just looked anywhere from 7 to 11 cents lower right now. Barrel cheese on a Tuesday also dropped 2 1/4 cents to 117 3/4. 40-pound block cheese today down another penny at 139, and double A butter mark down 3/4 cent at 223 1/4 per pound. I imagine some folks may be curious about what's happening with our dairy prices, our dairy farmers. Maybe we can talk about that and take their phone calls coming up this afternoon for Live at 4.
We're going to see you at 4:30 or so. Throw the Farm Babe Mobile in all-wheel drive and climb up the hill.
I promise I'll be there.
All right, we'll see you then. Have a great afternoon. And Gary's here now. A major storm on the way.
I know I'll be here. I'm already here. I'll be here for 4 as well. But we're starting to get some new computer model numbers in, and they're continuing to show pretty much what we started to see last night, that we're seeing that the heavy snow is on the way for the rest of this afternoon through tonight and into tomorrow. A pretty steady snow over that time period. We have an alert day in the forecast for the rest of today into tomorrow morning for occasional snow, probably somewhere in the 5 to 10 inch range as it appears now, with some freezing drizzle, especially this afternoon, but that's starting to change over to snow as we speak. We also have alert days for Friday and Saturday. Look at these wind chills. Friday morning down to 35 below zero. Saturday 30 below zero. Daytime wind chills staying below zero. Actual lows around 10 to 15 below zero, and daytime high temperatures barely above zero. Snowfall amounts, this is the first thing we have to deal with. The snow from this afternoon through tonight and tomorrow. Over that time period, about a 5 to 10 inch swath. There'll probably be a heavy band of about 8 to 9, 10 inches, somewhere in there, but it'll be somewhere in this area. Most areas will be somewhere between about 5 and 8 inches. And then lesser amounts over southeastern Wisconsin where freezing rain might be a little more prevalent. And then farther to the north and west, the amounts will taper off north and west of the Dells. Right now, the freezing drizzle is starting to change over to snow. We're seeing patches of snow developing. This whole area will expand pretty quickly over the next few hours as the atmosphere becomes a little more saturated and the temperatures drop off a little bit, so we start to see more snow rather than freezing drizzle. Visibilities are starting to drop. That's showing us that the snow is starting to appear down to 3/4 mile visibility in Madison. The lower the visibility, the heavier the snow is coming down, and at times we could see visibilities down to about a ½ mile in snow. Winter storm warnings in effect from northeastern Iowa through all of southern Wisconsin and parts of northwestern Illinois, with winter weather advisories to the north and south of there. The computer model forecast, our local RPM computer model showing the heaviest snow now over southeastern Wisconsin, with perhaps still around 5 inches in Madison. The North American mesoscale was coming up last night, and now we're seeing those amounts generally around 7 to 8 inches. The European computer model also coming up from earlier forecasts, now in about the 7 to 8 inch range, and the GFS day-to-day computer model run for the United States showing around 9 to 10 inches. So pretty good confidence that we're going to be somewhere in that 5 to 10 inch range. Look at the wind chills by early Friday morning. 30 to maybe 40 below zero. Daytime wind chills on Friday staying around 15 to 20 below zero. Wind chills by Saturday morning back down to around 30 to 35 below zero. And then wind chills during the day on Saturday staying in the teens below zero. And we don't improve on that until Sunday when more snow arrives, and then another blast of cold air follows in the wake of that. Here's the view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. You can see the snow starting to occur in downtown. Current temperature 21 degrees, winds out of the south-southeast at 8. That drops the wind chill to 11 degrees. The winds have actually lightened up a little bit. Temperatures upper teens to the lower 20s. They'll probably go up a couple more degrees. Wind chill's not terribly bad now, but as the winds pick up later tonight and the temperatures drop, that's when those wind chills will really start to kick in. The snow just starting to break out here. The main area of low pressure in a pretty good spot just south of Kansas City. That's an area that we look at for the low to track just through about the Chicago area to give southern Wisconsin a heavy snow, and that's right where that low is tracking. Temperatures right now, teens, 20s, warmer to the south, so the warmer air brings in more moisture, and then that converts into snow in the colder air up to the north where we are. So our forecast includes winter storm warning until 9 a.m. tomorrow for areas west of Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line, until noon for everybody else. High today of 25. The freezing drizzle will change over to snow. Steady snow for tonight, breezy with a low of 18, about 3 to 5 inches overnight. Another inch or two tomorrow before skies clear out. High temperature at 22. Total snow probably about 5 to 10 inches. You can see on Future Track the snow continuing overnight into tomorrow morning. Then it starts to wind down by noon. After that, we clear out late in the day. Snowfall amounts 5 to 10 inches total, but the 7 to 10 day forecast, again, you have to look at the bitter cold after the snow. Temperatures down to 10 to 15 below zero, daytime highs in the single digits. More snow from late Sunday into Monday. This could be another significant storm, followed by another shot of cold air after that. Mark, it just doesn't seem to want to end.
Okay. Thank you, Gary. And there's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, Michelle Schwader is here to talk. Michelle Schwader is here to talk about your diet and health questions. The number to call, 270-9933. Thanks for coming up today.
Yeah, thank
Roads
you.
aren't bad yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Saying you don't have to run to the grocery store anymore either in the weather. You can just give a call and place an order.
Yeah, and so that service used to be kind of only used by people who couldn't really get around the store well, or they were pretty homebound. But now it's really caught on, and most grocery stores do offer the service where you can order your groceries and they either just pick them up curbside or they'll deliver them to you. Sometimes there's a fee, so you got to check that out. But actually now people are using it and getting some healthy behavior changes too.
What are the pluses and the minuses?
Well, the advantages are that it saves you time. A lot of people spend between 30 and 60 minutes at the grocery store, and so that's time that you can allot to meal prep and preparing your snacks. Another thing is that you can stick to your list. You know, you don't have to walk past the Valentine's candy. You don't have to walk through the bakery if you don't need to. And a lot of people that are prone to those impulse buys end up coming home with some things that they don't really need.
But sometimes you just want to pick stuff out, like produce.
Right. So we do have some people who maybe order their dry goods and then go and just pick up their produce, and so they don't have to go through the whole store. It's still a time saver. You can order certain requests for your produce, so that sometimes can be helpful. And it definitely is a time saver, but you have to judge that with how confident am I with my list? How much do I want to pick up my own food? If there's something that's not available, do I want to trust the store to substitute? Do I just want to skip it? So it's a good thing to pursue, and it might be helpful for some people. I encourage people to try it and see if it works.
Check it out.
Yeah.
How specific can you be with the items?
You can actually request the brand, the size. You know, if you're looking for a certain can of soup, you can suggest that. If they're out of that particular brand, you can say, well, I'd like chicken soup. I don't care what brand it is. Sure. And so you can give them notes and preferences.
All right, let's go to Kim in Belleville. She has a question for you. Hi, Kim.
Hi. I was wondering about deli meats. I know processed foods are not, the best for you, but is there a difference between something that's prepackaged and something you have sliced from the deli?
Good question.
Good question. And not really is the basic answer. The things that are pre-sliced and come in the little plastic containers that are ready to go are basically the same. They're just sliced previously. So a lot of people prefer it from the deli. They feel like it's a little moister and fresher, but it probably have the same ingredients in the end.
All right, Paul in Beaver Dam. Hi, Paul.
Yes.
Hi, what's your question?
I'm taking Coumadin now, and they said I shouldn't be eating green stuff. So they make golden kiwis.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that okay to eat?
Those are much better, yes. Your greens, they're really talking about the really green vegetables, Brussels sprouts, lettuces, and kale. And so there is some vitamin K in fruit, and that's what you're trying to avoid if you're on Coumadin, but much, 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 much less. So that's not as big of an issue as the actual green vegetables would be.
And kiwis are fun.
Right.
All right, we're out of time. If you're on the line, stay there. Michelle will talk to you off the air. Have a safe drive back.
Thank you.
Thanks
You
for
too.
coming in. And Gary, the snow has begun.
Yeah, well, thanks for the report. I appreciate it. But it is starting to change over now from freezing drizzle to snow. You can see kind of where the line is between the snow and the freezing rain, right about at I-80 or I-88 near the northwestern portion of Illinois. South of there, there's more of a mix. Here, it's starting to change over to mainly snow. The patches of snow that are showing up are where it's more likely reaching the ground. Visibilities are starting to drop here in Madison down to 3/4 of a mile visibility in some light snow. Temperatures right now are in the lower 20s, so just a couple degrees warmer than it was earlier, but as the colder air starts to move in aloft, that will start changing that freezing drizzle over to snow. Snowfall totals probably in the 5 to 10 inch range when all is said and done through about noon tomorrow. And as we look at the winter storm warnings, they're in effect until 9 a.m. for the western parts of our viewing area, till noon for Madison eastward. You can see more alert days in the forecast for bitter cold temperatures Friday and Saturday. More snow at the end of the weekend and cold after that, too.
So this afternoon commute and tomorrow morning going to be a challenge.
Be dicey.
All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.